For me, experiential education is really a way of life.
You have to realize that we go in a circle. Everything to us is a circle. There's no beginning, there's no end.
You keep on doing it all your life. It's really a lifelong thing.
There's just things that you can't learn in a classroom setting.
To me, being there is 100% of where it's at. And there's simply no substitute. You cannot replicate in the sterile walls of a classroom what exists out in wild nature. And so I've quit classroom teaching, and for now on, my teaching career is right here. The head of Half Moon, or the head of Swimming Woman, or out on the Missouri Breaks, or high in the Sweetgrass Hills. That's reality.
Most important aspects of it for me is the relationship between myself and the subject, what I'm learning, what it is that's being taught to me or told to me. And I think that one of the greatest values of experiential education is the relationship that develops between me and what I'm learning. There's a reality to it. It's kind of based in something that's actually affecting my life and something that I'm interacting with, as opposed to conventional education, which tends to alienate the student.
At one of our campsites, I saw an immature Cooper's hawk take a starling while in midair, feeding its young. And for me, just seeing that and actually seeing predation in its core, the realism of it, it just sort of shocked me.
To me, the difference between experiential learning and the traditional academic sense is just total body submersion.
Being in it while learning about it, being smack in the middle of all this beauty and rain and mud and
Real life.
real life. Not just reading about it in a book and looking at pictures, seeing it for real life and being able to touch it and smell it and see it and hear it.
Observing geology, during or erosion in action, I guess, to put a positive spin on all the rain we had. You could just see the Missouri Breaks eroding away with all the mudslides and runoff and all that stuff happening right before our eyes.
I was pretty desperate for time outside, and I think most people are really lacking in being out in the environment. All people pretty much are totally missing out on the world, and we're becoming aliens, I think, of our own planet.
The most valuable part of this trip, the thing that I'll probably take home with me and will be most forward in my memory, is all the people that we've had a chance to meet so far, the ranchers, but to actually come out and talk to the people who these things directly affect, and look them in the eye and just hear firsthand, their struggles is really amazing.
and I appreciate the opportunity for interchange between you, because you're the people we need to talk to. We need to be understood, and we're not being understood. And I don't think that my people, when they reject you or they don't want anything to do with the wilderness thing, they don't want anything to do with that, man, that's the people I want to talk to. I want to talk to the guys that don't have any idea what we do, what we're doing out here, or the reasons for what we're doing.
I think it's especially important for people studying environmental science, things of that nature, to get a chance to get some experience out in the field, because it seems like in the classroom we always get sort of a one-sided picture of issues. And out here we meet with the ranchers, we meet with people on both sides of the issues we talk about, so we get sort of a bit more of an objective picture of what's going on.
I've really enjoyed talking to the people. That's been my favorite part. Putting real people to labels like rancher.
Our deal, like I say, we've got our kids involved. And we have 2 daughters and a son, and they're all involved in ranching with us. We have 3 different ranches, and there's never a day goes by that I don't get to see every one of my grandkids and pick them up. And it's hard to put a price on that.
I was taught, being an environmentalist, that I was fighting for their cause as well. But talking to the ranchers on this trip, I really got their perspective. I think everyone should get that perspective. Everyone fighting for the environment, fighting for whatever, should always see the other side of the coin. Talk to people who are on the other side of what they're fighting for.
French people, when they come across us, they didn't know who we were, and they asked some of the Cree and the Assiniboine in Canada which people those were that made the white buckskin. They wanted to trade with them. They said they were the Falls people, they said, in sign language. And this is what they said. They went like this here. And then so the French, they said, oh, the big belly people, the Rovon. So that's how we were named, Rovon. During those times, this time of year is when people came to fast. Well, whole clans would move into the area, and that's the reason why there's so many teepee rings around us. They'd move into the area, and then the people who were going on their vision quest came up here.
Big bachelor bulls. The buffalo pasture and the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation.
It was the last known herd, the northern herd, was killed here on Fort Belknap.
There used to be bison. Gentlemen, you may fight at will. They say this land won't go to waste, but you gotta wonder how.
Right down that way.
We're looking at just the bottom end of the ZL mine. We can't see very much of it from here. We're at the gate at the head of the Mission Canyon Road.
Here was Spirit Mountain, this mountain that we'd used for fasting and for visions and everything was gone. Just a bunch of rumble there.
You know, you get out here and you climb up this mountain, you know, with your own two legs, and you get up there and you see just these open sores where a mountain used to be, and any sort of picture, any sort of verbiage via, you know, some instructor isn't going to do it the same sort of justice.
Cyanide is going into our water. And we tried to find out where they got their water rights from. And they just, all they would tell us was, oh, just from some rancher.
The hands-on experience, you don't forget it. It remains with you for the rest of your life. You'll be telling stories about your experiences from here on because they stick with you. I can't hardly remember a single fact out of a textbook sitting in school, but I remember so many minute details because I'm here and I'm smelling it and hearing it and feeling it.
I think another important thing about experiential education is that it helps students, all of us, to really develop sort of a passion about the things that we're studying. Whereas if you're sitting in a classroom talking about this wilderness is important or this animal is important, you know, it doesn't really sink in. When you come out here and you see these incredible mountain ranges, and then you see something like Zortman Landusky, which has taken away one of those mountains, it sort of really brings it home.
And here's this foreign firm company that comes in, and the laws mean nothing, absolutely nothing to them. And they don't care. They think, well, just a bunch of Indians, so what if we put cyanide in their water? You know, that's their attitude. And so we've just fought with them tooth and nail.
I just kind of wish the policymakers who are deciding the fate of natural resources would get out here more instead of sit behind desks all the time. Maybe then we get better management decisions. I don't know.
We can still find an optimistic view at the end, even though we listen to all of Juan's battles and heartaches. We can still go, it's still worth it.
This is a lesson for sure. Do not put mud all over your face. It's a bad idea.
And Bill has caught a fish.
How big it is.
That is a huge fish.
Alicia?
Well, we're having falafel on a bed of couscous.
Wow.
And for an appetizer, we're having hummus with crackers. And we're also having minestrone soup with some fresh cut vegetables. And 2 kinds of cookies for dessert.
Gee,
Yeah.
Oh, I see you're cooking them from the top and the bottom.
Yep, brownie/pudding.
Yeah.
That's right, Bill. What we have here is a Dutch oven of the
very advanced design.
Hammock variety.
Yes.
beginner's mind, there are many possibilities.
Ah.
In the expert's mind, there are few.
From the really mundane sort of things like how to pack a canoe right, how to paddle straight and not go down the river backwards.
And having been in the teaching position instead of the learning position. You can really see the difference in how people learn, the different learning environment, therefore. They forget that they're actually supposed to be learning and they actually have a good time.
Read a little Walden Thoreau's talking about if you work light, you eat light, and you work light. I did just that.
The almighty dollar is not everything when it comes to human life.
There hasn't really been any alternative education proposed for the general public, for the public schools. And I think that's really, it's a tragedy because not everyone learns in the same manner, yet we're teaching all our children in one particular method. So we're losing a lot of children. A lot of children are falling through the cracks.
And they also said you'd never find a way.
I think, you have to change your paradigms to fit.
Yeah, building on that, I'd like to get existing classroom teachers involved in the thrills of experiential education, because many of them, are really restricted by lack of funds to be able to do this. And if we could convert, them to do it, there'll be a ripple effect.
Out here, you get to learn on your own, learn about the environment, and learn from your fellow students and from your teachers.
What I really like about it is the teacher isn't set up like some oracle of knowledge, which is what happens in a standard classroom. And instead, both teachers and students work together to learn from the world around them. I think it's a much more valuable way to learn, plus it's how you learn in real life.
It really is. I mean, you can't bog down with everything and you just get away for a while. And you're still learning here, probably more than you could in an entire semester. Really learning, not just getting the credits or not getting whatever, but you're really learning. And it's refreshing as well, because when you get back, you're ready to learn. And your mind just kind of opens a little bit when you're out here, more than it can in the classroom.
Education doesn't have to be done in lovely places like Montana. You can do it in urban areas. You can do it, just wherever you're located, and learn from what's around you, from the real world.
You are the last generation, myself included, that'll have the option of putting this area into the wilderness system.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know. Don't worry about a thing.
Paul, have you ever thought about being a weather woman on the TV?
Never occurred to me. I can't use hairspray. It bothers my nose.
Don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun.
Bill, where was it you first developed your great love for meetings?
Long meetings.
I hate meetings.
A melody's pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry
looking good there, Sean.
Berkeley, California. I've been doing this for like 5 years now.
Come on down.
Josh, what do you like most about experiential education?
I think it's the time in the field, Bill. You really get out there.
And that basically sums up my whole opinion on experiential education.